Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Intermediate Guitar Chapter 23. Okay, today we're going to keep exploring our major 7 chords and our minor 7 chords. We're going to look at the key of F major and D minor today. I want to point out that these keys are related, as D minor is the relative minor to F major and vice versa. Okay, let's start off with some F major 7 chords. Going to start off with the 6-string root shape. This is going to have the index finger on the 1st fret 6th string. Skip the 5th string, and then ring fingers on the 2nd fret 4th string, pinkies on the 2nd fret 3rd string, middles on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then you could just cut it off there, or mute your 1st string. And the 1st string could also ring for this chord too if you like, since it's in the chord. And I'm muting my 5th string with my index. Okay, the next one's going to be the open position F major 7, just doing an F triad. I've got my ring finger on the 3rd fret 4th string, middles on the 2nd fret 3rd string, index is on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then I'm just going to play it from there and then have my open 1st string. And I'm just going to avoid my 5th and my 6th string. Okay, the next one's going to be the index finger bar shape. So I've got my pinky on the root, I've got my 8th fret on the 5th string with pinky, ring fingers on the 7th fret 4th string, and then barring to get the 5th frets on the first 3 strings with my index, and then I'm just going to avoid my low 6th string. The next one's the 5th string bar chord shape. I've got my index finger on the 8th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 10th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 9th fret 3rd string, pinkies on the 10th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 8th fret on the 1st string with my index. Make some contact and mute your low 6th string. Okay, for D minor 7, I'm going to start off with the 5th string bar chord shape. It's just a minor bar chord without your pinky. So I've got the index finger on the 5th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 7th fret 4th string, barring to get the 5th fret on the 3rd string with my index, middle fingers on the 6th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 5th fret on the 1st string with my index. Make some contact, mute your low 6th string. Okay, for open position D minor 7, I'm just going to do my open 5th string, open 4th string, middle fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string, barring to get the 1st frets on the first 2 strings with my index. Just avoid your low 6th string. Okay, the next one is the 6-string bar chord shape. It's a minor bar chord without your pinky. So I've got my index finger on the 10th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 12th fret 5th string, and then barring to get my 10th frets on the first 4 strings with my index. You can also use your middle finger to add some pressure on your index. Okay, the next one is real similar but a different shape. To do that same position for a D minor 7, I'm going to use my middle finger to get the 10th fret on the 6th string. I'm going to mute my 5th string, and then with my ring finger, I'm going to bar and get the 10th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then mute or cut it off on the 1st string. This chapter's strum pattern is going to feature some 8th notes and 16th notes. A box without a bottom is indicating a down strum, and a arrow pointing down is your up strum. On beat 1, we'll have 8th notes. It's just going to be 2 down strums. Now on beats 2, 3, and 4, we're going to have 16th notes. I recommend a down, up, and we're going to let the last 16th note be tied to the downbeat of the next beat for beats 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. So just let that up strum note linger, miss your down strum, keep your strumming going, but just don't make contact for that down strum on the down beats of 3 and 4, and then resume your strumming with notes on the up strum of the E and for both of those beats. Okay, here's the pattern without a chord. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just be doing these one time, but I recommend repeat all these 8 to 12 times. Check out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, grab your F major 7, and we're going to go 4 bars with that pattern for number 1. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, now here comes number 1 with the metronome. I'm going to have my click at 60 beats a minute. 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, for number 2, we're going to do a D minor 7 for 4 bars with that pattern. Here we go. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. For number 3, we're going to go 4 bars of F major 7 into 4 bars of D minor 7. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. For number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of F major 7 into 2 bars of D minor 7. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Here's number 4 a little faster. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. For number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of F major 7 into 1 bar of D minor 7, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Incorporate some chords from previous chapters and some rhythms that we've talked about. For number 6, we're going to start off with the whole note rest. That'll be a bar of nothing. And then on bar 2, we're going to have a whole note for an F major 7, and that's a chord lasting for 4 beats. On bar 3, we'll go into normal pattern with the G major 7. Okay, now I'm just going to do same shape we did for F major 7, but I'm going to base it off of my 3rd fret for a G major 7. So now my index is on the 3rd fret 6th string, skip the 5th string, ring fingers on the 4th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then middles on the 3rd fret 2nd string. And you can cut it off on the 2nd string and then mute your 5th string. Okay, here comes number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For number 7, we're going to start off with D minor 7. We'll have normal pattern for 2 bars. We'll take it to a C major 7 on bar 3. We'll have a half note for the first 2 beats, a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. We won't play anything. We'll start off bar 4 with a half note rest. Again, nothing for the first 2 beats, and then we'll do a half note for beats 3 and 4, and half notes last for 2 beats. For C major 7, I'm doing my 5th string major 7 shape. I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 4th fret 3rd string, pinkies on the 5th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 3rd fret with my index on the 1st string, making some contact and muting the low 6th string. Okay, here comes number 7. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 8, we're going to do an 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with F major 7, normal pattern, but with a quarter note rest on beat 1 on bar 1. Bar 2 is normal pattern. We'll switch it to an A minor 7. We'll have normal pattern, but with a quarter note rest on beat 1, and then normal pattern on bar 4. On bar 5, we're going to take it to a G minor. We'll have normal pattern, again with a quarter note rest on beat 1, normal pattern on bar 6. On bar 7, we'll switch it to a C7, normal pattern, but with a quarter note rest on beat 1, and then normal pattern on bar 8. For an A minor 7, I'm just going to be doing my 6th string minor 7 shape. I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 7th fret 5th string, and then barring to get my 5th frets on the first 4 strings, all with index. For a G minor, I'm just doing a minor bar chord off of the 6th string. So I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 5th string, pinkies on the 5th fret 4th string, and then barring to get my 3rd frets on the first 3 strings with my index. And then for a C7, I'm going to do my 5th string dominant 7 bar chord. I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 4th string, barring to get the 3rd fret with my index on the 3rd string. Pinky's got the 5th fret 2nd string, and then getting the 3rd fret 1st string with my index, make some contact, mute your low 6th string. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a rest. 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 Last one, number 9, we're going to start off with a D minor 7. We'll have normal pattern on bar 1. On bar 2, we're going to have 8th notes on beat 1, and we're going to tie the second 8th note into a dotted half note. Dotted half notes last for 3 beats. So on beat 1, we're going to hit our 2 8th notes, just let that second 8th note linger all the way through the next 3 beats. On bar 3, we're going to go to an E minor 7. We'll have a dotted half note to start that bar, so we're going to have a chord lasting for 3 beats, and then a quarter note rest on beat 4, and then normal pattern on bar 4. For your E minor 7, I'm just doing my 5th string minor 7 bar chord. That's index finger on the 7th fret 5th string, ring's got the 9th fret 4th string, barring to get the 7th fret 3rd string with my index, middle's got the 8th fret 2nd string, and then 7th fret 1st string with index. You can also have your open E string for this one. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, rest. Here's number 9 a little faster. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, rest. Okay, for this chapter scales, we're going to look at F Lydian and D Dorian. Let's start off with F Lydian. Lydian is basically a major scale with a sharp 4 or sharp 11, and Lydian's built off of the 4th mode of the major scales. So when we play F Lydian, we're actually playing the same notes as C major, so all of our notes are going to be natural. The key of F major normally has 1 flat, it'd be a B flat, so we're going to sharp that 4th note of the scale into a B natural. Okay, so here's our notes. It's going to be F, G, A, B, C, D, E, back to an F. On the 6th string, we're going to have 1 lead up note, your open E string. Then we'll go 1 to 3. On the 5th string, we'll go open 2, 3. Open 2, 3 on your 4th string. Open 2 on your 3rd string. Open 1, 3 on your 2nd string. And then open 1, 3, 5 on the 1st string. I want to point out that your 1st fret on the 1st string is your F. That's our 2nd octave. We're just going to climb up 2 more notes. Okay, now coming back down, we'll go 3, 1 open. 2nd string, 3, 1 open. 3rd string, 2 open. 4th string, 3, 2 open. 5th string, 3, 2 open. And then if we want to take it down to an F, we'll go 3 to 1 on your low 6th string. And if you want to take it all the way down, 3, 1 open. Okay, I always recommend work your 4 basic rhythms: quarter notes, 8th note triplets, and 16th notes. I'm going to do quarter notes, 1 on each note, and I'm going to start right from the note F. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for 8th notes, you could do 2 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... For triplets, you could do 3 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. notes. You could do 4 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 4 on each note. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to incorporate our new rhythm, the quintuplet. That's 5 notes on 1 beat. Okay, for picking, you can go all down picks or use alternate picking. I'm going to use alternate picking, and I'm going to use my metronome for this. This is 1 octave F Lydian scale with the quintuplet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to take the same scale up 2 octaves this time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For numbers 3 and 4, we're going to do groups of 5. So we'll go 5 notes through the scale, we'll backtrack 4 notes, and then go up 5 from there. Okay, here's your first group of 5. Next group of 5. Into. And then. Okay, here's 1 octave groups of 5. 3, 4. Okay, here's groups of 5, 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's groups of 5 descending 1 octave. 3, 4. Okay, here's descending groups of 5, 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 5 and 6, we're going to do interval leaps of a fifth. So we'll play the first note, jump up a fifth, backtrack 4 notes, and then repeat that process. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's descending fifths. Okay, for part 2, let's look at the D Dorian scale. D Dorian is basically the same notes of your C major scale because Dorian's built off of the second note of the major scale. This is going to be a minor scale with a natural 6, so it sounds really cool over minor 7 chords and minor chords. Got a little personality in there. Okay, here's our notes. We're going to have 3 lead-up notes. We're going to go 5, 7, 8 on the 6th string. Get to the 5th string. Here's our note D on the 5th fret. We'll go 5, 7, 8. 4th string is a 5, 7. 3rd string is a 4, 5, 7. 2nd string is a 5, 6, 8. And then on the 1st string, we'll go 5, 7, 8, 10. And our 10th fret is our 2nd octave D. Coming back down, we'll go 8, 7, 5. 2nd string is an 8, 6, 5. 3rd string is a 7, 5, 4. 4th string is a 7, 5. 5th string is a 8, 7, 5. Takes us down to the note D. And then if we want to go all the way down, we'll go 8, 7, 5 on the low 6th string. Okay, I'm going to bypass the other rhythms. I'm just going to do quarter notes, but I definitely recommend hit those. I'm going to start off right on the note D, and here's some quarter notes in the D Dorian scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 2, we're going to put the quintuplet on the Dorian scale. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now here's going up the full 2 octaves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for number 3 and 4, we'll do groups of 5. Here's the first group of 5. Next group. Next. And then. So here's groups of 5, 1 octave. 3, 4. And here's groups of 5 going up the full 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's descending groups of 5, 1 octave. 3, 4. And then here's descending 2 octaves. 3, 4. Okay, for number 5 and 6, we're going to do intervals of fifths. Here we go. 3, 4. And here's descending. Okay, I always recommend to jam and improvise with your chords and your scales. I'm going to play some F major 7 and do some F Lydian. 3, 4. Some chords. Some scales. Back to some chords. I'm on a D minor 7 and play some D dorian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chords. Some scale. Back to some chords. Some more scale. For this chapter study, we're going to look at some world grooves. Now, it's going to be incorporating some different rhythms and styles from different musics that I love to play. And let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, we're going to start off with some reggae. It comes from Jamaica. Definitely recommend if you like reggae, check out some Bob Marley, Peter Tosh. There's some really great roots reggae, and then there's also cool reggae as the decades progress too, all the way to modern times. But you really can't go wrong with Bob Marley, so check into that. Okay, now, interesting rhythm approach for reggae. We're going to be hitting on the ands of the beats, and what I recommend is to keep steady kind of rhythm happening with your right hand too. We're going to kind of keep strumming. Okay, I'll just be repeating all these examples one time, but I definitely recommend repeat them a bunch and get inside of them. Okay, now for number 1, we're just going to be doing a G major bar chord, and then I'm going to start us off with doing some muted 16th notes, and we're only going to hit the and of the beat. So if we go down, up for each beat, we're going to accent or actually hit the and of the beat. So it'll be like this: rest, E, and, rest, E, and, rest, E, and, rest, E, and. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and repeat this a little bit. This will be number 1A, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm keeping my shape the whole time. I'm just going to release it a bit to get my muted and then press it when I'm actually going to hit the note. Okay, now if you feel comfortable with that, you could release some of your ghost notes and just hit the ands of the beat, but I do recommend keep your strumming happen. Okay, now here's going to be with less ghost notes, and I might hit some occasionally, and that just adds to the feel. 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So try to incorporate some ghost notes there towards the end. Have fun with them. If you could fill in those if you like. Okay, for number 2, now we're going to go into a 2-bar progression. We're going to go from an A minor bar chord into a D minor bar chord, and you could hit your ghost notes if you like, or just try to accent the ands. I'll be doing a little bit of both. Okay, here comes number 2. 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, now we're going to be going from a C major bar chord off of the 5th string into a B flat major bar chord off of the same string. Okay, 1 bar each. It's a 2-bar progression. Here we go. 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 4, we're going to have 2 beats of different chords rolling for this one. It's still a 2-bar progression, but we're going to go 2 beats of F, 2 beats of G minor, 2 beats of B minor into 2 beats of C. Okay, here comes number 4. 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the next 4 examples, we're going to talk about some bossa nova. Okay, bossa nova is great style of music from Brazil. I play a lot of Brazilian music. I definitely recommend, if you're interested in Brazilian music, check out Antonio Carlos Jobim, the composer. He wrote a lot of the standards that we play today, including like The Girl from Ipanema and a lot of sambas too. So if you're interested in bossa nova, check into it, because samba is kind of another similar pattern too, but with a faster beat. And we'll talk about that in the next book. Okay, now for bossa nova, I'm going to start us off with kind of a basic pattern. It's going to be a thumb and claw technique. So I'm going to be using my thumb, and then my index, middle, and ring finger is going to work as a claw to get some of my chord notes. Okay, so thumb's sort of in charge of the bass, and we're going to start off just on an A minor. So my thumb's just going to be hitting the open A string, but eventually we'll start hitting some different bass notes and we'll start rotating with our thumb. But for this one, just keep your thumb on the 5th string, and we're going to hit a quarter note on beat 1 in our bass with our thumb on the open 5th string. Now on beat 2, grab your claw on the first 3 strings, and we're going to do a chord on beat 2 as a quarter note. Now on beat 3, we're going to hit another bass note. So our bass notes are going to be on 1 and 3, but we're going to hit the end of beat 3 with a chord pop and let that linger through the downbeat. It's tied over to the first 8th note on beat 4, and then we'll hit another 8th note on the and of 4. Okay, here comes number 5. I'll play it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, here it is a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here is just a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 6, we're going to rotate from a C major 7 chord to a G7. So I'm going to have bossa nova pattern for the first bar with my C major 7. And I'm going to switch it to a G7, and I'm going to let my thumb go down to the low 6th string. And it's going to get that bass note. And I want to point out that the claw has shifted to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string now. So we're hitting some more mid-rangey notes with our chords. Okay, here comes number 6, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Here's number 6 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, now continuing on for part 2 of the study. Number 1, we're going to keep our bossa nova going here, and we're going to start off with the D minor in open position. And for this one, we're going to rotate a bass line with a root. I'm going to have my thumb hitting the open 4th string. On beat 3, I'm going to shift down and hit the open 5th string, and that's going to give us a root and 5th bass line. So it's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's always cool to hit the roots in your bass. It's also really nice to do bass lines, and you could do roots and 5ths. You could put the 5th up, or you could put the 5th down, and we'll explore a little bit of both of those. Okay, now for bar 1, we're going to have our D minor with our rotating bass line. Okay, now we're going to switch it to a G7 in open position. We'll hit our low G in the 6th string on the 3rd fret for the first bass note. Okay, now on beat 3 this time, I'm going to hit my open D string, and that's going to give us a root and 5th bass line in G. So I'm still doing that same concept as the 2 chords move around. Okay, here comes number 1, nice and slow. And my claw has now gone back to the first 3 strings. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Here's a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is a little faster than that. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, for number 2, we're going to start off with an A minor 7 in open position. And for this one, we're going to rotate from an open 5th string in our bass on beat 1 to a higher 5th on the 2nd fret on the 4th string. And it's already built into our chord. So bar 1 is going to sound like this. Now we're going to switch it to a C major 7 in open position. And this one will hit a lower 5th on beat 3. And I'm just pivoting down to the low 6th string on the 3rd fret with my ring finger. Okay, here comes number 2 slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And here's a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these last 4 examples are going to be some jazz concepts. You could think of this coming from the USA. I did study jazz. I went to Sonoma State University. I did the jazz program there, which was really cool. I recommend it. It helped me learn some of the chords and learn some of these scales that we've been talking about. And also it was great to meet some really cool musicians and teachers, and I learned so much also from just my peers, but I definitely took a lot of lessons and I did the full education for that. So if you're interested in jazz, think about hooking up with some musicians, do some homework on your own, or check into some lessons and some jazz studies. And also junior college is a great way to go too if you want to get a little exposure into kind of what it's all about. Okay, now for these examples, we're going to be doing some chords and then walking bass lines. And I want to point out that we have a swung feel for jazz for all these examples, and think of it like our swung 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that'll give you some of that swung feel. Okay, if you want to play with a pick or thumb and claw, you could do it either way for this one. Let's start off with a pick. Now, have a G7 bar chord off of your 3rd fret 6th string. Okay, now we're going to hit a chord on beat 1, and then we're just going to do a bass line, open 6th string, 1st fret to 2nd fret. We're going to climb ourselves back up to the note G. So number 3A is going to sound like this. So we're going to be walking a bass line basically as we pop chords. Okay, now if we want to go thumb and claw technique, you could just use your claw, and I'm going to have them on my 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and this would be this concept. Here's number 3B a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. For number 4, we're going to do a similar concept in C, so I'm going to be working off of a C9. Okay, for this one, I'm going to hit my C9 on beat 1, and then I'm going to have my open A string, 1st fret to 2nd fret, leading me back up. Now for this one, for your bass line, I can go hit my 1st chord, open, use my index for the 1st fret, and then a little tip is use your middle finger for the 2nd fret. That'll take you right up to your C9 chord since we've got our middle finger on the root. Okay, here comes number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's number 4 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, we're going to rotate from a G7 to a C7, and we're going to lead in with bass lines leading us to each chord. Okay, now on beat 1, we'll hit a G7 on beat 1. Now we're going to climb up to a C9 with that same concept, open A string, 1st fret, 2nd fret. We'll land on a C9. And then from here, we're going to come back to G with an open 6th string, 1st to 2nd fret. And it's basically going to be a bar each with our walking bass line taking us up to each chord. Okay, here's number 5 slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's number 5 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here it is even faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 6, we're gonna just add a little flavor to this one. We're gonna hit our first chord as 8th notes on beat 1. We'll hit our G7 2 times. We're gonna climb up to a C9 again, but we're gonna use a B9 as a passing chord. So I'm gonna hit my G7 chord twice. Now open A string, first fret A string. I'm gonna have my B9 shape off the 2nd fret, leading me into a C9, and we'll hit 8th notes on our C9, so hit that 2 times. Now we're gonna climb down again, open E string, 1st fret E string, and this time we'll climb up from a F sharp 7 chord into our G7 chord to climb it again. So we have 2 approach chords, if you will, for this one. Okay, here comes number 6 slow. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Here's a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for chapter 24. That'll be the last chapter, so it's real exciting. I really appreciate it. See you then. Take care.